Alright, hello everyone. My name is Thomas Simulus, and today I want to show you how to make incredibly sad music. But this isn't going to be the kind of thing to ruin someone's day, but when they listen to it, they'll really feel that emotion that's inside the song, and you'll feel it when you compose it and when you perform it, and even when you record it. Alright, let's get started. Now, when I say very sad or emotional music, it's sort of in a situation like if you look back on a lot of your childhood memories and things like that. It almost makes you sad, but not really in a depressing way. It's not really something that would ruin your day, but when you look back on it, it really is sad. And we want to capture this and put it inside music. Usually I do this using either a basic orchestra, or mainly most of the time it's just a piano by itself. So how I begin this is I usually start out with basic chords, only the natural notes and all that that's used during the piano. You can definitely tell when you look back at basic songs that are made with piano, they're all made with the natural notes and no sharps or anything like that because it's basic. So when you make a song, your entire point is to keep it through natural notes, at least through the beginning, and you can transpose those later. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to start out by just playing very basic piano pieces and all that. No real effects. I think there's just some natural reverb on this. And we're going to see how it sounds. It's going to be very happy to start out with. Okay, here's a basic sample of just a piece. Get the idea. I mean, it sounds generally happy. What we want to do is we want to take this feeling of sort of the happiness is mainly the song that you would learn when you were younger, or just a basic song when you begin playing the piano, and we want to change this and sort of play it in a different style that makes it almost like you're looking back on that moment of happiness. And we want to make it more emotional on the inside, not something general. What I mainly focus on when I perform something like this is to never use a metronome. You can tell when I played that first piece, it was very on tone and on the spot. And when you do sort of an emotional piece, you want to focus completely on the emotional impact, and if you feel certain emotion while you're playing the song, you want to start to play it either slowly or quickly, depending just on how you feel. You don't want to have to follow any boundaries based on a metronome or anything like that. So let's take that same piece and let's first off switch the piano, get more of a stereo grand. And now I want to add some stadium reverb. This is sort of to give it that echo, almost like you're looking back on a memory. If you've ever seen in certain movies or anything like that, when someone's dreaming, there's a certain fog going on. Everything's more blurry, and I feel like this just gives it a lot of that effect when you really listen to the song. Okay, so first here it is without reverb. And then here is the one I plan to use. Enough to really give it that dreamy effect and sort of drown the notes together. I seem to like that a whole lot better. Now what we're doing is we're practically taking the same piece that I originally played in the beginning that sounded very happy, and we want to sort of mix that together and make it sound more like there's emotion placed into it. You can already tell from the beginning that we're going to be playing it slower, but there's going to be more chords involved and more consonants, not really just basic pieces going on. We want people to really feel the music and not pay attention so much to just the chords and all that are going on. So here it is. This is totally impromptu. I'm going to see and just start playing, because that's the entire point with this, is to sort of let your emotions take over and see what you feel. Now this is only using the natural notes, and then after I perform this I'll transpose it and we'll get to see the difference. already it's the same chord progression. I'm not even changing octaves or anything like that, and you can really tell the difference from the beginning to the end of how in the beginning it just sounded straight up cheerful and super basic, and then now you can sort of feel that emotion and what's going on. Now, one major trick and something that I love to use here is if you could imagine songs like the very beginning that sound super cheerful, happy, and all that, and then you play a harmonic of it, and that really adds to the emotional feel and what's really going on. It's not just the same song from the beginning. Let me show you what I really mean here. If I can get this, now what I'm doing here is I'm transposing the notes down by 5. This is sort of like a harmonic, so if you play them both back to back, it's not going to sound like a totally different song or a totally different key, anything like that. It'll sort of flow onward. You can also do a harmonic towards the 7th, but for me, and dealing with emotional pieces, 5 just seems to work out perfectly. So here's the same piece, played almost exactly the same as I can get it, and let's see how it sounds. Now this just ends up bringing out a little bit more of that low end and softens out the top end. So you're not just playing this upper octave happy song. Usually when I end up switching octaves down a little bit lower, then it sort of gets muddy in the lower end. So I just like to transpose everything down 5 notes. In the end, the only important thing here is to keep things improv. You don't want to create a song and then play it an incredible amount of times before you record it. Just start out with a basic idea and record it even if you don't have everything composed yet. The entire point here is to sort of just get the emotion outward and see how people react to it. That's all I really aim to do here when creating background music for anything. Alright, if you like this tutorial, just give it a thumbs up, or if you have any comments or suggestions, just leave them below the video. If you want more of these, then hit that subscribe button. Until then, I'll be creating more tutorials, but thank you.